Ben, so where is Ralf Rangnick at the moment?
Well, Ralf Rangnick is here in England, that's our understanding anyway, and as we know, he's been waiting for this work permit to be granted. Until it is granted, he can't take charge of Manchester United, and by the letter of the law, he can't actually take part in any workplace communications or anything like that. So he's just waiting for that paperwork to come through. At the moment, we don't know when that process will be finished. It is similar, if you think back to when Antonio Conte was appointed the Tottenham manager. It's just a waiting game. It can't be rushed, there's no delay, but it is just taking its time to go through the system. What it means, though, and confirmation from the club in the last few moments, is that Michael Carrick will take charge of the game against Arsenal on Thursday. Now, that was expected. Certainly, it was only going to be the case that Rangnick was going to be able to be in the dugout if he was able to get that work permit through and have enough time to work with the team before Thursday's game. Well, clearly, he's not had that through by today. That means that we've already lost one training session as far as Rangnick is concerned, which leaves just one more training session tomorrow before that game against Arsenal. Michael Carrick, since he's been in caretaker charge, has done a pretty good job, hasn't he? Winning in Villarreal, that point against Premier League leaders Chelsea as well. And then he goes into this third game, another tricky fixture against a side that's lost just once in their last 10 Premier League matches in Arsenal. That's not to say, though, that should Rangnick get his work permit through, he won't want to come and have some involvement. We certainly know that about his character. As soon as he is confirmed as the interim manager and confirmed that he can work, we're pretty sure, knowing Rangnick as we do on Sky Sports News, he'll be inside Carrington behind me and he'll be wanting to have an input, if nothing else, into the team.
Ben, you mentioned Michael Carrick's games there, Villarreal, then Chelsea, and then, of course, Arsenal. But when Rangnick does take over, what does the fixture list look like for him?
Well, actually, it does ease up significantly if you think about the opposition, given that certainly in the Premier League, 5 of their next 6 opponents in the Premier League are actually in the bottom half of the table. And when you consider some of the tough fixtures they've just come through, the likes of Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea and upcoming Arsenal, it certainly gives Rangnick something to work with. And in the Premier League, that would now, we assume, again, given the work permit all comes through this week in good time, that it will be Crystal Palace at home when he takes charge of his first match. That's on Sunday. Then there's that Champions League game against Young Boys. Remember, given the win against Villarreal, United already into the knockout stages of that competition. So as far as that game's concerned, remember there's also some speculation and doubt over where that game's actually going to be held. UEFA are looking at where they can play that match, again due to COVID travel restrictions. And following that, it's a fairly decent run. As I say, they've got games against Norwich, Brentford and Brighton in the Premier League to follow. All of those teams, barring Brighton, below the halfway point of the table. Brighton indeed below them as well. So Rangnick will be looking at those fixtures with a certain amount of optimism, I would say. There are certainly points to be won, but it's this crucial stage of the season where they need to start winning points, because United currently 8th in the table, 5 points already outside the Champions League places, a 9-goal difference swing as well required to overhaul West Ham. So a lot for Rangnick to do as and when he finally gets in through the door here at Carrington.